because we have our own venue and we grew up here as a venue working with everyone, we kind of like know everyone. So I don't look at this going like, oh, well, I like this kind of house music. So if you like that kind of house music, then we're enemies, right? I look at everyone. I'm like, well, I'm a music fan first, so I kind of love most genres of music.
Yep.
And I like all these people, and I want to hang out with them more. And I just like variety. So it was great to like get to know the Revision guys, the Super Enjoy guys, Darker Than Wax, and Strange Weather, and we've done stuff with Manifest and Groove Top. Like, so these are all my mates. So I find it really funny when I'm like, oh, do you know so-and-so? And they're like, no, like, what kind of different types of music? And I'm like, oh. So they don't get to hang out. So I find it really funny. Like, so I think one of our jobs as a kind of
unite all the collective
is well, just provide like things that everyone will like. I'm not trying to here be the UN, trying to like sign like peace treaties. But I do think it's fun getting everyone together.
Yeah.
And especially like not just the DJs and their kind of collective, but they're like friends as well. And that's, I don't know, that was one of the things I saw last year, so 2023 at Boiler Room.
Yeah.
Is like a lot of people who were like coming out for the first time, or so there's something about this, like the core culture, their friends who maybe not in the music or in creative industries, but they're like, they go out to it. And there's this whole group of other people who will still come out to these events that none of us knows, that make these things like busy, and they bring a different energy. So yeah, that's what I'm interested in. Those are the kind of events that we want to do more of.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's like an Asian thing, it's like, hey, my house music's better than your house music kind of shit, Yeah. But then, I realized that, right, this kind of community kind of stuff, right, that, what we are doing, what you are doing, what Groove Talk, everybody is doing, right?
Yeah.
It's actually more slanted towards the underground, if you realize.
Yeah.
Right. You don't really see like mainstream collective, maybe like one or two only, but the bulk is all underground. So, I don't know, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that if you create like a community and you play mainstream music, will it gather people like underground music?
Yeah, I'm sure it will, but I think that underground music is necessary against mainstream music. So mainstream music
necessary against.
Yeah, so like if you listen to mainstream music, you don't need a crowd of people. You don't need to so you can go to like any mainstream place and have a good time. You don't need to like form bonds with people. You can go on holiday and go to like a mainstream DJ at a mainstream club. And there's enough people that maybe you do have, like, all your friends will say yes. Everyone will love the DJ. Everyone will like have a good time, and then everyone will go home and like listen to the same music on the radio.
Yeah.
So I think in that reason you don't need a community so much. So, but I think as soon as you're like, well, I really like let's say so for me, I grew up in quite a small town in the UK, like an hour and a half out of London. Like, so when you're growing up, you find out about all this music, but it's not in your hometown. You can't go and see these people. So you're like, okay, well, I really like this DJ, but it's not in my local nightclub.
Back then, no Spotify.
Yeah, I really like this genre, but not in my local town. So you're like, okay, I'm going to have to travel to it. So if you're going to travel somewhere, like, you're going to find other friends who want to travel with you. And that's how I think that when you have a common interest, then that's when the community starts to grow. And then you suddenly realize like, not only do we like this music, but we kind of share similar like views on like things, and maybe like we like this music because we're like alternative thinkers, and so you end up like, it's not just music, but maybe music is the initial one,
the catalyst.
Yeah, I think music for community building is like ultimately a great first step, but then there needs to be something else because if you don't vibe with people beyond the music, then you're not going to hang out with them. So I think all these like underground communities, like, yes, but it's a way so it's more, I think it's less about like being like an alternative lifestyle, stuff like that, but I think it's more in its purest. These people want to see something they can't, and then like by collectively getting together, they're more likely to support like bringing a DJ that they like, or going together to a music festival or going to a town nearby if they live in a country where if you travel to different cities, you'll see different scenes. That's how I think of it.